it is going to have a leveraged impact, meaning every single one of your campaigns is going to get a better return on investment. Hey there, Kelsey Toner here, the founder of Guest Focused Tour Business Coaching, where every day myself and our team of extraordinary tour business mentors are helping you build a thriving, more profitable tour business. Today, we're talking about the off season. If you are in the Northern Hemisphere and you're watching this, maybe you're into your off season or shoulder season. Maybe you've taken a little bit of time to relax, hopefully take a bit of a break, but you might be asking yourself, okay, now what? Project number 1, redesign your tour sales page. Now, why this matters more than maybe rushing into creating new products or figuring out new people to sell things to is that you can start with what's already working. I would highly recommend starting with your top selling tour activity or experience. You now have the bandwidth to not only redesign that sales page, implementing some of the best practices that we cover here at Guest Focus, but that can become a template for all of your other products and services. Why this is so impactful is that a lift in your direct booking conversion rate, meaning the number of people that ultimately move forward and make a purchase versus the total number of visitors. If you can increase that conversion rate, it is going to have a leveraged impact, meaning every single one of your campaigns is going to get a better return on investment, maybe a better return on ad spend if you're using Google or Meta to drive traffic during your peak seasons. So this is one of those areas that is highly leveraged. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we have a Tour Description Mastery self-paced online program where we can help you transform your tour sales pages into 24/7 selling machines, especially if you don't have a background in e-commerce or marketing or sales. You can learn more about this program at guestfocus.com/TDM for Tour Description Mastery. But if you go to this registration page and scroll down, we built in a calculator, and you can put in your estimated monthly sales, your average booking value, your conversion rate improvement, and the number of months per year that you are active. And you can adjust, and even just with a 0.5 lift in conversion rate on a $150 average booking, you can quickly see how much this can compound. Now, again, if we shift this even slightly, maybe we're able to increase by 0.075, and maybe you're getting closer to 2,000 visits a month, and let's say 200 is more your average booking value. You can see right away how much this is going to be a return on your gross sales. Put another way, you've got the time to do this now. Think 1 page, 1 month of effort, and massive results. Project number 2. Build or automate one marketing funnel. Now, this doesn't have to be you yourself. You could task this to one of your team members or potentially even hire a contractor or an agency. And if you're not sure where to begin, I would highly recommend starting with email. In our experience, a lot of tour and activity business owners simply aren't leveraging these simple email automations that you can set up that are going to help drive bookings on autopilot. And that's the key takeaway here. We want to build something that's going to be running in the background year-round. Now, this could be putting together your first lead magnet, like here, how the Asheville Wellness Tours has a great Asheville retreat and trip planning guide. Or if you're in the multi-day space, our friend John over at Target Tours put together this great guide, 7 costly mistakes to avoid when booking a vacation from Atlantic Canada. Now, the key here is when somebody gives you your email, we want to build an automation that's going to send them 2 to 3 or maybe 4 to 6 emails on autopilot. In our full coaching program, we have templates and overviews that will show you exactly how this 3 email or 6 email sequence could work, along with email templates and AI prompts to help you get this done quickly. Notice how with this marketing automation, we can very quickly build that personal connection with our potential guests. Hey, Kelsey T here from Be a Better Guide Tours. Thanks again for grabbing our lead magnet yesterday. Here's that link. As a quick follow-up, I wanted to share 2 local insights. I use this example here from Vancouver. The North Shore of Vancouver offers incredible mountains, gorges, and rivers, and national parks, all within 15 minutes of downtown. Capilano Suspension Bridge Park is one of the most popular and offers a stunning walk across a deep gorge, a cliff walk, treetop. But tickets for adults are roughly $60 per person, which can get expensive quickly. Our recommendation would be to check out the North Shore's sister suspension bridge over the Lynn Valley Gorge. 15 minutes from downtown still, but the Lynn Canyon Suspension Bridge is free of charge, less crowded, and boasts a massive network of trails. Okay, hopefully you found those insights helpful. You can imagine here swapping in your own helpful tips for your potential leads. But then here's the plug. Look, we know how frustrating things can be when traveling. Spending hours and hours researching things to do on the web, sifting through thousands of online reviews. That's why we go the extra mile to take care of all of our guests and to make sure everyone leaves feeling like they've got a friend here in town. We're a locally run tour company that specializes in creating unforgettable experiences here in destination, and we've got a range of tours and experiences that showcase showcase the best our destination has to offer. What are we doing? We're driving people back to the website so they can check out your experiences. If this is something that you or your team want to work off here in the off season, we'd love to hook you up with these lead magnet generators. We can come up with ideas for your first lead magnet, as well as the AI prompts to actually write out these emails in seconds. Now for this project, it doesn't have to be email marketing, but I do want it to be an automation, meaning something that you can create that's going to work next year, 365 days a year. Project number 3, tighten up pricing and profit. Now, this is something that most operators often avoid because it can sometimes feel overwhelming, or candidly, it can just feel a little bit uncomfortable. But if you're looking at your year-end numbers and your profit is just not where it should be, or your take-home pay is wanting, then this project is 100% for you. Now, there's lots of ways that you can break down our pricing, and I'll show you our guest-focused pricing calculator here in a second, but I want you to understand first that small adjustments here can have a massive impact. If you're a food tour operator, maybe looking at your most popular tour and aiming to drop your most expensive food stop and replace it with something that costs half as much. Or maybe you adjust your trip minimums or your trip cutoff point from 4 guests all the way up to 6. Or what happens if you bump your maximum group size up from 10 to 12. Each of those changes might seem small, but they add up fast. Watch what happens when we plug in some numbers. Let's say you do 100 tours next year. You're projecting to do 100 at $75 a person and a max capacity of 8 guests. That'd be $60,000 in revenue. Now let's just make those 2 small changes. Let's say we increase our price by $10 to $85 a ticket, and you bump your average group size up by just 1 person, let's say to 9 guests. Same 100 tours, but now you're at $76,500 in sales. That's an extra $16,500 for the year, and you're not working any harder. And by the way, this is when having an experienced coach or mentor can have a massive impact. That was the experience of Torin and the team down at Flying Bike. Based on the recommendations of our guest-focused coach, we made 2 small changes to our tours, and that is over $24,000 in extra revenue. This is what it feels like to have someone in your corner. Those 2 changes that we encouraged Torin and the team to make was to increase the max capacity of their tours, and secondly, to cut the second tour leader from their tours. This is something that they had resisted for years and hadn't really run the numbers on just how profitable it would be for their business to make this change. One of our favorite things to do with guest-focused clients is to take your tours and run them through the guest-focused tour pricing calculator. Let's see what happens when we can adjust or play with some of the fixed costs per tour and variable costs per tour. Are there ways where we can decrease this cost while still having an incredible experience? What happens if we adjust the gross ticket price? What happens if we adjust our tour minimums and we can keep an eye on our gross profit margin depending on the number of guests we have on tour? Here in the off season, getting a second set of eyes on your offers, on your pricing, and your margins can have a massive impact for the next year and beyond. Project number 4, add one AI workflow to your tour business. Hey, we're living in the age of AI, but who has time for that during our peak and busy season, right? We're just trying to keep everything together, keep all those fires from getting out of hand. But now we have the opportunity to look at and maybe explore some of those things that you've seen in your inbox, or some of the things that maybe you heard at a recent conference or in a video like this. But choosing just one area that you can apply AI in your tour business, we can reduce some of that overwhelm. And I'm not talking about complicated tech stuff here. We're talking about using AI to handle repetitive tasks that are eating up your time or the time of your team. Here are 2 quick examples that could save you hours a week in your next peak season. Firstly, use AI to respond to reviews. If you're getting reviews on TripAdvisor, Google, Viator, these are deserving of a response, and it can have an impact on how your business is perceived. Train an AI tool with your brand voice and a few example responses, and empower your team to use this new AI tool. Of course, review them, tweak as needed, but what may have taken someone several hours a week can now take just 10 minutes. A second example might be training an AI on your products, your pricing, your operation docs, and your 20 most common customer inquiry questions. Yes, we could eventually build this into an AI chatbot, but even in the near term, for your admin team, test it out on past customer queries, see how it responds. If it's accurate and working well, then we can use this on a daily basis to answer those questions that are coming in daily over email, over the phone, or over chat. Got another idea in mind for how AI could help you be more profitable or save you time? Go for it. Pick one, now's the time to do it. Project number 5 is to plan your marketing content for the coming year or coming season. If you and your team, or you and some of the agencies you work with, seem to be posting randomly on social media or sending emails whenever you remember, you're not building momentum. You're just adding to the noise. If you haven't seen our series on the VIP marketing method, I highly recommend you go check that out. It's available for free here on YouTube, and it'll show you what world-class marketing looks like for a tour activity business. In short, the VIP marketing method has 3 core pillars. The first is your content needs to be valuable. It needs to inspire, educate, or entertain your ideal guests. Not just book our tour or buy our shiny stuff, but posts and content that solve problems or answer questions that your ideal target guests have during the different stages of the sales funnel. The second pillar is the I in VIP, intimacy. Our content needs to humanize your brand. We should be showing our face or highlighting our team and reassuring people that there are human beings behind this business. Share behind the scene moments, build real connections through conversation and not just one-way broadcasts. And the final pillar is that P, the pervasiveness, showing up consistently across the platforms where your ideal target guests are already spending their time, whether that's email, Instagram, Facebook, groups, your blog, wherever they are spending their time. And this omnipresence is where having a plan can make a massive difference. So from a simple prompt like this, we're able to get a whole pile of content ideas for the dreaming, planning, and booking phase of our marketing funnel. So at the very top of that funnel, content that's gonna be valuable might look like, hey, Vancouver's best kept secrets. Local guides reveal their favorite spots. Escape the crowds, how to experience Vancouver like a true VIP. The perfect day in Vancouver from sea to sky in 24 hours. And all of these ideas were generated from that one AI prompt. As we go over to the planning phase, kayak versus paddleboard, which adventure is right for you? These are people who might be aware now of the types of activities that they're looking to pursue, in this example of a day tour operator. So we should be providing useful content that's going to help them. The best routes for exploring Vancouver's hidden coves by kayak. 5 FAQs about our Sea-Doo tours. But as you can see, we have tons to choose from. In the booking phase, those people who are on the fence or maybe just need that extra little nudge of urgency or overcoming some of their final objections. Can't decide? Here's how to pick the perfect water adventure. Why we're rated 5 stars, real testimonials from our guests. And a reminder, secure your spot now, why summer dates sell out quickly. So we can take the time now to generate lots of ideas of the type of content that we want to create in the coming season. But let's make that decision now. So we choose 24 pieces of content. That's 1 piece of fresh content for every 2 weeks. Now we can repurpose that content in lots of exciting ways. So after choosing which pieces of content that we are going to create in the future, we can then use a tool like this, where every 2 weeks, we've got a fresh piece of content that we are going to create for our ideal target guests. And with a planning tool like this, we can then make a plan for how we are going to repurpose that 1 piece of seed content into lots of different mediums. Doing this type of content planning now not only sets you up for success with marketing agencies or marketing contractors or team members in the new season, but it's also a great reminder and a great way to make sure that we're still creating VIP, valuable, intimate, and pervasive marketing here in the off season as well. Project number 6, get an experienced tour activity business owner to have a look at your operations, at your marketing, at your offers. Get a second opinion on what you're doing with your business right here and right now. Here's why. It's near impossible for any human being to see their own blind spots. We're too close to it. We've been making the same decisions, following the same patterns. We often don't even realize what's holding us back. It might be that our pricing is too low, that we have weak sales pages or no follow-up systems, we're marketing to the wrong audience, or we're missing key systems or processes that might save us hours and hours a week and help us break free from that hamster wheel. Our team of coaches have worked with thousands of tour operators from around the planet, and they are masters at spotting problems in 5 minutes or less that an operator has been living with for years and years. And it's not because they're super smart, it's because they have that outside perspective and they have the pattern recognition from working not only in their own businesses, but with hundreds of other tour business owners just like you. So here's the thing, we're coming into the off season. This means that you're gonna have more bandwidth than any other time of year to tackle some of these projects, to work on your business on some things that are really gonna move the needle. So I'm inviting you to book a free, no commitment check-in call at guestfocus.com/check-in. That's all one word. Let's see if this is a good fit. Now, if you're okay with the status quo and you just kind of want to cruise next year and you're okay with modest changes to your bottom line or your take-home pay, then this probably doesn't make sense. If you're interested, of course, get yourself subscribed. If you found this video useful, it would mean the world to me if you shared it with a friend or colleague.